hello everyone, and welcome to the Wealthy Life Podcast. I have a very special guest here. She is local, and she is a physical therapy assistant at Full Circle Therapy and Wellness, and she has an amazing story. So I want you to know that what we're going to be talking about today is actually POTS and dysautonomia, which a lot of you probably don't know about. But if you do know about it, you know of the frustration that goes along with it.
Big frustration.
Big frustration. And the cool thing about what we're going to talk about is everything we talk about with POTS and dysautonomia are also things that would help anyone
Correct.
who's trying to live a healthy lifestyle. So I want to dive into her story and talk about what she does and give you that information. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you making the trip here. So tell us what your role is at Full Circle.
So like you said, I'm a physical therapist assistant, and I primarily work with a lot of POTS patients. You don't have to have the POTS diagnosis as long as you have the symptoms. That's what we work with.
Can we tell people what POTS stands for?
Probably should.
Yes.
So POTS stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome. So short words, I guess, would be it's a lot of when there's postural changes, the heart rate goes up very, very high. So in any type of dysautonomia, which POTS falls under that umbrella, it's a dysfunction of your autonomic nervous system.
And so basically it's patients who, with position changes, they will get a racing heart.
Yep.
Sometimes they get really dizzy.
Yep.
They pass out. So
Yep.
they have frequent, what we call syncopal episodes, which means you're passing out for any unknown reasons.
Yep.
And diagnosis is really hard.
It's extremely hard.
Right?
It's extremely hard. It used to be the gold standard was doing a tilt table test, and a couple conferences that I've been to, they kind of talk about how it's still really good to do it because it could rule out some other underlying issues, but there's a lot of false positives to
That's
it.
what I was wondering. So there are false positives.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I would say, and it's hard to get it done. It's hard to get the appointment. It's hard to get the referral.
Yep.
There aren't a lot of places that do it.
Correct.
Correct.
And it's hard to get in to see a specialist unless you have the diagnosis. And if you don't have the diagnosis, you need to have the test. But if you can't get the test,
so I feel like
bad cycle.
We have a lot of patients in our practice who I say you're POTS-ish. Like it sounds like POTS. We're not going to go down the diagnostic pathway because we really don't need it, but it sounds like POTS.
Correct.
Are there any other symptoms we missed that people would want to watch out for?
So the list can be very long, and it's different for everybody. So nobody has the same symptoms. It's very, very uncommon. Headaches and migraines are huge. Diarrhea, and then constipation, a lot of GI issues, the lightheadedness, the dizziness like we talked about before. Temperature regulation is huge. Huge.
And those are all symptoms that if you guys have heard me talk about the nervous system and the autonomic nervous system with the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, if you don't remember that, that's okay. But basically it's like your nervous system is confused. So it doesn't know when you stand up that you're supposed to have your blood vessels tighten up and get more blood to your brain. It doesn't know that when you're eating, the gut should be working to digest your food. So it doesn't know that if you're in a hot environment that your body should compensate for that. So it's all those things that your body usually naturally compensates for that you don't even think about, and it just doesn't work. So people are really miserable.
They are. So there's a lot of different, a lot of research online, a lot of different memes out there, and one of them that I've seen in the past is think about feeling like you have the flu 24/7, plus you wrap yourself in a scarf and you have an elephant sitting on your chest, and then you turn the thermostat up to 90 degrees. Like, that's how they feel all the time. That's their norm.
One thing I'm going to say is these people usually look really normal unless they're really disabled from it, which that can also happen. And they can be young. And so I remember when I was actually working in the emergency room and I would have these recurrent POTS patients, as a doctor, you're kind of like, they're nuts. This is in their head. And I know that probably rings true to you.
Absolutely.
Like, because you just think, like, everything's normal. Their labs are normal. They're young. They're healthy. They're just making this up. And that is a common theme that I would see in traditional medicine.
All the time. I'm probably going to skip ahead a little bit.
I was going to say, we should talk about your daughter's story now. So
Yes.
this is the juiciest, not juiciest, but this is the best part of it.
But it gives me, I'm the mama bear, but I'm also the medical provider. And you put those two together, it's not always the best combination, but it's not the worst either.
No, right.
So my daughter started passing out. She was 17. It was her senior year of high school when she's supposed to be having the best time. Was this like 7 years
ago?
Yep, 7, 8 years. And went to the ER. By the time we got there, she was feeling better, looking better, and they said, you really should be drinking more water. You should have ate breakfast. You're a senior. You're probably really nervous about your future, those types of things.
Right.
So we're like, yep. Got her a water bottle to make sure, getting all the right ounces in, making sure she had good breakfast every morning, lots of protein. And then it just started happening more and more and more. And when this would happen, she was kind of paralyzed. So this doesn't happen to everybody.
Right.
But when she would pass out, she could be unconscious anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And she didn't respond to anything. So I would pinch her. She would be flaming hot. So
and obviously you called the ER the first few times.
We did it twice. She got brought in with a rescue squad twice. And then after that, I looked like a jerk when I would tell them, do not transport my daughter. Because by the time we would get to the emergency room again, we were made to feel like crap.
Yes.
That we were not taking good enough care of our daughter.
Right.
We weren't not making sure that she was hydrated well enough or getting enough sleep. So
oh my gosh.
After that, we just kind of put the kibosh. But she would, when she would start to come to, she couldn't talk, she couldn't move, and it was like her whole body had to kind of reset. Her nervous system had to reset. Figure out how do I move? How do I move my mouth? How do I talk?
And you obviously did the full neurological workup,
Yep.
MRI, EEG.
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah.
Consultant. So everything else had been ruled out.
Yep. Everything is normal.
Everything is normal.
You're healthy.
Right.
You're good.
Right.
Yeah. You're probably anxious.
Did they ever tell you that that she was making it up? So there's specifics, or that it was psychiatric? Because I would say that's what I've seen people label.
So we did have a couple. They were very careful in how they worded it, and I think they were careful because they could already see me squirming in my seat.
Yes.
So we were fortunate that, they kind of watched their wording, I guess. But I see a lot of clients that they get that label.
Yeah, no, I've had patients sent to psychiatry.
Yep.
And told that they have a psychiatric disorder.
Correct.
When they don't. They have a nervous system disorder.
Which, no shit, sorry.
That's fine. I told her it was explicit. We're fine.
Told her that was going to happen. You're going to have anxiety when this happens.
Right.
It's going to bring it on because when you start to feel these symptoms, you don't know, oh my gosh, is it going to get to the point where am I going to pass out? Do I need to lay down? What do I need to do? Is it just going to pass? So of course you're going to get anxious. Anybody would, right? When you start to feel these things. Definitely addressing mental health is huge because you're dealing with a lot.
Yes.
And you're gaslit a lot by a lot of providers, unfortunately.
Yes.
You just have to be able to find the right ones.
The right person.
We went through all of that too.
Did you ever find the right providers? So your experience with traditional medicine, not awesome. Can I assume that that's correct?
You can assume correct. It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
So we were fortunate that she did get a POTS diagnosis pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Locally. They didn't know what to do with her. They're like, well, this is what she has, but we don't know what to do, so let's refer you on. And from there, it really wasn't a whole, the traditional thing is put salt on your food, drink a lot of water, put some compression socks on. Those are the standards.
And you're working at this time and researching everything.
Oh, my search engine on my computer was red hot. Non-stop.
And tell us how disabled she got. At her worst.
It got to a point, so she was in a wheelchair for, we're dealing with longer than 7 years. She was in a wheelchair for 7 years. Oh my gosh. And then...
Did she finish high school?
She finished high school, and I have to say, I live in a very small community, and the school was phenomenal. They really worked with us. Our community backed us. I was somebody that was trying to get a lot of awareness out, and people would be like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I had no idea. And then they would start to talk to people and say, oh my gosh, this kind of sounds like your daughter Maddie. Maybe you should talk to this person.
Right.
So we were very fortunate because that doesn't happen a lot. So she had numerous concussions, which is why we opted to go into the wheelchair. She could not stand or walk without passing out.
Oh my gosh.
So she had fallen down the stairs one time. She passed out in the shower. One time she was home alone and she was walking to the bathroom and she passed out, hit her head on the corner of our hutch. And she woke up, but she wasn't all the way to that she could call for help. So she somehow managed to text our daughter who was in school. And again, the school was phenomenal. She went and showed the teacher the text message and she said, go. So one of the office ladies brought her home and they found her on the floor bleeding from the head. So then after that, I said, okay, you are going to have to be in a wheelchair.
Oh my
like
gosh.
we can't risk you hitting your head anymore.
No.
So she did that.
She also had feeding tube?
Nope. So she
Or
had a port. She had a
port
port
for
placed.
liquids. Oh, because she was getting frequent IVs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we did a little trial, and her pediatrician was awesome. Her pediatrician just kind of took over because we were getting frustrated with specialties, and she's like, whatever you want to do, we'll do. I'm like, well, we've been doing research. So we kind of trialed different amounts of fluids, and it seemed 2 liters seemed to be the magic number.
Per day.
Yep, per day.
So you were giving her 2 liters of IV fluids every day.
She did 2 liters of IV fluids every single day for 4 years. Wow. Yep.
Did that get covered by insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. We eventually she kind of tapered because she would start to feel better.
Right.
And
this is as you're doing all your other things with her, correct?
Yep.
So
I mean, she was a stubborn 17-year-old. I'm not gonna lie. Like
right.
we kind of butt heads. I would text her at school and say, "Did you squeeze your butt cheeks? Did you tense your muscles before you tried to get up?" And she's like, "Mom, shut up." But so I mean, I annoyed the crap out of her, and I'm aware.
Right.
But finally, she got to a point where she was able to kind of realize, like, I have to do this.
Right.
Like, you could kind of tell when it switched. She didn't want to be different than everybody
No,
else, right?
yes.
Like, you want to be the same. You want to do everything that everyone else does. And she could do it in her wheelchair.
So at what point in time did you start doing more, they're not really alternative therapies, but out-of-the-box type therapies with her?
I would say probably, I don't know, 2-3 years into it. It's hard to remember because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but yet it seems so long ago at the same time. So we had gone down to Dallas. There was a pot treatment center down there that we had found online and, you know, kind of put our hope there. And we learned a lot of good strategies. It just wasn't what Maddie needed. Mm-hmm. We'd been to Mayo Clinic. We've been down to lots of places within the state too. And
racking up big bills, I'm assuming.
Lots and lots of big medical bills.
Yep.
Lots and lots of big medical bills, which is a huge stressor for a lot of people,
right?
But yet you don't want to let the monetary factor get in the way of your health.
Right, or your child's health.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So it's like you're going to do whatever you can. I used to pray to God every night to make me sick or give me cancer, whatever you need to do to make her better.
Oh my gosh.
Like it and things could always have been worse, right? I think the not knowing, and she just always felt lousy. Like sometimes she couldn't get her head off the couch because she was so dizzy and lightheaded, or the headaches were so bad. So eventually we just kind of started on just a regular, very, very basic exercise program. And she slowly ramped up with that. And then when things got a little bit easier, then I would challenge her a little bit more. Or
so
add
you
a
started
couple
with doing
different
things in the chair.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And then just kind of by chance, we were on vacation in Florida, and she wanted to try getting in the pool. She wanted to see if she could stand or walk in the water, because we had heard the pool therapy was excellent. So I'm like having a stroke over on the side. She gets in the water, and she was like a fish. She was phenomenal. She felt great. She could stand and walk in the water. She could do anything she wanted in the water, because the water provides so much compression.
Right. It's like
to
pressure.
the body. Yep. So when we came home from vacation, we started going water walking twice a week and started doing some exercises in the pool as well.
Did you do it on your own, or did you have guidance?
We went on our own.
Okay.
We just did our
went
own
to the
thing.
Y or something like that?
Yep. We would walk laps, and she would kind of time herself to see like how long she could go for, and always kind of set goals. And then she met the man of her life, of her dreams, and they are getting married in October, and they moved in together, and they had a pool. So all summer long, she was also in the pool.
Right.
So I think her body got acclimated to being upright, and things had just dramatically changed. I think it was just a combination of the exercises, the pool, the extra fluids, because that's improving the blood volume, putting pressure on the vessels too, so not everything's so lax.
Right.
So I really think we had also gotten a wheelchair for her, which we do have at the clinic and we utilize with patients who are wheelchair bound, it can progressively stand you up. So we were fortunate to be part of a raffle that they raised enough money that we could purchase this chair for her. So we utilize that as a tool as well. So at home, she would put herself in it and she would just raise herself up a little bit at a time until she would start to feel a little tingly, and then we'd know, like, okay, that's enough, that's good, and she would try to maintain that position for as long as she could.
Until everything balanced.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think if some of this isn't making sense to you with POTS, the blood vessels are just all like blah.
Yep.
They're like more wide open.
Yep.
So if you can imagine, you want your blood vessels to be a little bit tighter so that you get blood flow to your head.
Yep.
So you don't feel dizzy. So if everything's just kind of blah,
Right.
there's not enough blood flow to your head, and then you get dizzy.
Right.
Really
A lot of times I'll tell people, so the autonomic nervous system is responsible for everything that happens automatically that you don't have to think about. So like right now we're sitting down, gravity's going to take over, and blood's going to pool to the lower half of our body. Right.
Which is why your legs swell when you travel for a long time.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Compression socks help.
Right.
So, but when we stand
If I stand up really fast.
her brain tells her heart, okay,
Yes.
beat, make sure you're beating, so it pulls that blood back up this way. People that have POTS, because everything is just, well, the heart beats faster, but nothing happens, and that blood stays pooling low in your body. So then the brain says, okay, beat some more. So then that's where that rapid heartbeat comes in, and then people are like, oh my gosh, my chest feels like it's going to explode. You get dizzy, you get lightheaded, and sometimes
you pass out. Right.
Yep.
What other things? I know you mentioned when you sent me some information in advance of this, like you were doing cupping and you were doing craniosacral.
Yep.
Tell me about those types of things.
Craniosacral has been a huge part of what we do.
How did you hear about it?
So one of my coworkers, her and I went to a course a couple years ago together, and I had always kind of wondered about it, but I didn't really know. And it's this light hands, voodoo, like light touch type of thing, and I was like, really, like, how is this going to do anything?
Right.
It's amazing.
I've had it. I've been to a craniosacral therapist.
It's
before.
amazing.
It is amazing, but it's kind of weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It is weird, and I tell people, I'm like, okay, well, I know it's going to seem strange. I'm going to put my hands on you. You're really not going to feel much happening. It's energy work. How I explain it to people, which maybe I'm not a technical person by any means, and I tell everybody that. I compare craniosacral therapy to, so if you're thinking about a straw. So you have your spinal cord as your straw. So cranium is your head, sacrum is your tailbone, and it connects, it's on each end of your spinal cord. So if you were to drink out of the same straw over and over again and you don't clean it, it's going to get gross. You're going to have to work harder to get that fluid out. So think about me coming in to do craniosacral as cleaning the straw. So we're mobilizing the bones of the skull, getting membranes to open, and it's clearing that pathway so that the messages can transfer properly.
Makes sense.
Does that kind of?
Yeah.
That's my way of explaining it. I need to have like visuals, and I mean nobody wants to drink from a gross dirty straw, so
that's a good one.
That's just kind of how I think about it. And it has been a game changer for so many people. So it's a huge part of what we do in our program.
So you do it at your practice.
Yes.
But then also it was a big part of your daughter's healing journey.
Yes, for sure.
Is it something she still continues to
Yes,
this day?
so we do it. She'll like text me, Mom, I need cranio. Mom, when can I come over so you can work on me? So I have a table at my house, and she'll come in, or I'll go to her house if she's feeling pretty lousy, and be able to, basically it's getting that nervous system back in check again.
Tell me about the moment when she decided to get up and walk.
She just had said, I've been feeling good. Like her normal was always dizzy and lightheaded, and her body always felt heavy. And she just said, I don't know, I just feel different. Like I don't have that heaviness. And she could walk a little bit in the house. Like if she, like around in her room, she could, transfer from her wheelchair if she wanted to quick get something from her closet, and then she'd sit on her bed. We have a 2-story home, so she would, if she was feeling well enough, she would actually like kind of run down the stairs or up the stairs to get to her room, and we had an extra chair up there for her. And it got to a point where she was realizing, like, I don't have to do it as quickly. Like, I don't have that feeling like something bad is going to happen.
Right.
So we very slowly, because I was very nervous, started transitioning a little bit and working with her. We had a walker on standby. My husband and her fiance, were right there too. And she just started rocking it. We started being able to do upright exercises, which, I mean, she hadn't been weight bearing for a very long time. So it took a little bit to be able to build that strength
Build that muscle and
back.
strength,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Is she currently using a wheelchair or walker
Not at all.
today?
Not at all.
Would someone notice that she has trouble walking? Or
No,
so
not at all.
Would you say she's in remission with her
I call it
POTS?
remission.
That's
I call it
incredible.
remission. Yep. I call it remission. She does notice that if so sleep is huge. Sleep hygiene is huge. So getting good sleep, good quality sleep, consistent bedtimes and wake times.
Yes.
Making sure that she's staying hydrated. She no longer has the port, but she does have standing orders that if she is feeling cruddy and she's done all of her strategies, she can call and go and get fluids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yep. So like my other daughter got married in May, so she got fluids the day before the wedding. The day of the wedding, we had somebody come to the house and give her fluids, and then after the wedding as well, and she did really well. She was out there dancing on the dance floor, like having a great time.
And not having any further passing out episodes at all?
No. But she does have to be careful with position changes. So she likes to garden, so pulling weeds.
Oh, that's hard.
Yep.
I get dizzy when I garden.
Yeah. So she just has to really be conscientious of that.
To be slow as she's getting up.
Yep.
How important would you say her diet was throughout all of this?
It was pretty huge. She ended up having to be completely gluten-free. She was having a lot of GI issues, and she had endoscopies and colonoscopies, and finally we kind of dabbled in, or she's like, I'm just going to go gluten-free completely, and within a couple days she noticed a huge difference, to the point where, I mean, she can't even have anything touch. So like if they bring her a salad and they forget to take the croutons off, she still can't eat it. She needs a whole new salad. But that was a game changer.
And then I'm assuming the rest of her diet, if you've been doing everything else that you told me about, she was probably eating a lot of protein, healthy fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, not a lot of sugar, processed food.
Supplements, so magnesium, good probiotics, so gut health, huge. Yeah.
So currently you guys are probably one of the only places in town that deals with POTS patients. Is that true?
Yes. As far as I know.
As far as you know, I mean, it's really, really hard for people to find someone to get help for this. And you offer, what are all the modalities you offer on site?
So what we do, I mean, it's a little tricky sometimes. So it's formal physical therapy, but I call it physical therapy on steroids, because we are addressing nutrition, we are addressing hydration and sleep, lifestyle strategies, movement and exercise. We utilize cupping, craniosacral therapy, visceral manipulation, which is mobilizing the organs, lymphatic massage, because that can be a huge game changer for a lot of people. Just making sure that, there's no fluid stuck.
I was going to say, mobilizing the fluid that's in your lymph system and putting it in your blood vessels is going to give you, I would say, balance, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yep, for sure. And then just as far as exercise go, we start very small. You always want to start recumbent. You don't want to start, I have a couple of gals this week, they're high functioning athletes. And I'm like, you're going to laugh, because I'm going to basically tell you, squeeze your butt cheeks.
You have to lay down and squeeze your butt cheeks.
Yeah, But we have to be able to...
It makes so much sense, though.
It does.
It's making me want to squeeze my butt cheeks right now.
Yeah, exactly. Squeeze those babies all the time. But you have to start small, because you don't know how your body is going to respond. And then we gradually progress into different positions, sideline, sitting, standing. We have a total gym that we utilize, and actually that was one thing that we had gotten. Right on site? Okay. I actually recommend a lot of people to get one off a marketplace. You can find some for very, very inexpensive.
Find what?
So a total gym.
Oh, I thought you meant you have like a gym. What is a total gym?
No, we do have a gym. We have a gym too. But a total gym is, so like, do you remember like the Chuck Norris?
No.
So it's kind of like a squatting machine. So there's a sled or piece that you lay on, and you can change the elevation.
Got it.
So you start at a low level, and it's being able to work the legs. So that's basically the big thing that we start doing, is we really work on getting the legs moving.
Get the legs beefy and strong.
Yep. And then we gradually increase the elevation, because then you're increasing the intensity that you're using, but it's also changing gravity for them a little bit too.
Right.
So that was one thing with our daughter that we had done, and I would sneak in once in a while and change the incline without her knowing, but she could tell, because she would, as she got higher, she's like, something's different. But it was a way for her to be able to keep working those leg muscles.
Right. What would you say out of all of this has been your biggest challenge from like onset of symptoms to today? And I think they seem to be further in the past, but in the beginning stages.
I guess just the frustration of not always knowing when it was going to happen, because there was no rhyme or reason. Like sometimes we thought, okay, you know, does she need to sleep later in the morning? That type of thing. And then all of a sudden she'd be having episodes later on in the day. Like it doesn't care. You know,
When it's gonna happen.
that part was very frustrating of not knowing.
What would you tell someone who's listening right now who thinks, my gosh, I might actually have this syndrome, or I do have this syndrome, or my child has this syndrome? What would you say would be like the biggest thing they could do today or tomorrow that would get them on the right path for the healing journey?
Really, we do offer virtual visits. I mean, even sometimes just chatting.
We do. Can you do out of state as well?
We are still in the credentialing process for insurance, so
Okay.
honestly, I don't know the answer to that question.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that is a very difficult one, so I'm not 100% sure. But even just getting in contact with us to talk and kind of getting through like, okay, these are some strategies. What have you done? What happened to bring this on? Like, is there something that you can think of that triggered it? You don't have to have a diagnosis for it, for us to see you. But really, I mean, the big thing to start with, even just on your own, is, okay, I'm going to start using electrolytes. I'm going to make sure that I am hydrating properly, adding some salt capsules to your diet. Those are the huge things. But it's hard because not everybody can have that too. So that's where it's a fine line.
Right.
So
and people find you online very easily, right? And they don't need a referral?
Nope. No, in the state of Wisconsin, you do not need a referral
really,
for PT.
really nice.
Yep. Some insurances may require it, but not
Are there
always.
specific practitioners in your practice that people would want to go to, or is it they could really see anyone and get the same treatment?
Myself,
You're the director of the program.
I am, yep. So usually what happens, so I'm a PT assistant, so I can't see patients when they come in the door, their very first visit. So I tag team with my colleague Jill, who has been a rock star. Her and I are kind of like the tag team for POTS. So she does a lot of the visceral manipulation. She does the lymphatic work. So we're a really good team. Like we balance each other out very well.
You've mentioned visceral therapy a couple of times, and I just want to touch on that because when I ask patients, hey, do you mind if I refer you for visceral therapy? I just get the deer in the headlight looks. But it's a very cool healing modality that the therapist is working on your viscera, which means your internal organs, and helping improve your health by working on your viscera. So it's really great for people with gut issues, SIBO, dysbiosis, yada yada. But I think it can be good for literally anyone.
Anything.
Because a lot of us hold a lot of our stress and tension.
Absolutely.
And I do think things get stuck, just like the lymphatic system gets stuck. Organs get stuck. Any of these modalities where you're working energetically or relieving tension or getting flow to improve are going to improve your overall health and give you better overall balance.
For sure.
So you don't have to have POTS to go and get any of the things that she's doing. So she's one of the unique people that actually specializes in POTS. So it's wonderful for people who do have POTS. But I'm someone who doesn't have a medical condition, and I love to regularly get all these various things done to me. Not as much as I used to, but I would like to do it more. But it just always feels like you're like opening up and you're more balanced and you have more energy and your mind feels clearer. So really anyone can go. And do these
we get a lot of people that come in strictly for, I just want to have craniosacral therapy done, or I need some visceral manipulation done, whether they've had it in the past or, they've read up on it and find us and say, like, we hear that you guys do this. I'd like to have this done. It's been a game changer for a lot of people. And as far as the craniosacral goes, I mean, it affects your physical and mental well-being.
For sure.
Overall.
So I don't know if I missed anything. I'm looking at my little notes here. Is there anything you didn't share that you'd want to share with the audience, or any like last take-home points that you'd want to share? And if not, that's okay.
No, I guess just the biggest thing is be proactive with your health, for sure. And if you don't get the answers that you feel are the right ones, you keep pushing. You have to advocate.
Yes.
You have to advocate.
Yes. People are so, in the past it was like, I go to my doctor tells me what to do and I'm taken care of, like so hands off.
Yep.
And if you have an issue and you are not feeling comfortable with your diagnosis or comfortable with your treatment, you have to be the advocate.
Yes.
And you have to
Yep.
do the research, and you have to find your path on your own.
Yes,
For sure.
For sure. I agree.
So that's really good. Love
Good.
it. Well,
Good.
thank you for coming
Thanks
and
for having
sharing
me.
your beautiful story.
Thank you.
We hope to see you soon, and obviously I hope to see you soon, and my patients will be seeing you soon.
Good.
So,
Awesome. Thank you.
yep. Thanks, everyone.